Hello, welcome pen friends. Lost my voice there for a minute. Welcome to ink number 6 in Ink Flight 21. Today's ink is Robert Oster Bass Straight. It's another blue. As you can see, this is the third blue in this series. We started with Clearwater Rain, and then we went to Gray Seas, and now Bass Straight. I'm going to try to see, we got a lot of natural light today too, but it wasn't quite enough by itself. So let's just, let's see how this ink does in the bath test. I'm pretty sure I know, because we're getting a pretty good consistency with this little series here. These 1980s inspired series. This is the last one, Gray Seas, and it was just a typical fountain pen ink, vanished upon being submerged in water. So there we go with that. And it looks like that's already starting to lift, but you never know when you're going to get one with a little more leftover where you can read it. So we'll let that do its magic. Now, I think here where the ink sample, the writing samples are, you could tell even more that each one of these has its own distinct color. These two are more alike than the others, and I'm seeing a little bit. It's looking, you know, this is lighter. And when I go like that and you can get more of the natural light, you can tell that too. But it's a pretty ink. It's got the nice shading, and there it is on the little Tomoe River paper. And it has shading throughout, I find, everywhere you can see it. It's available at Goulet Pen, $17 for the 50 mil. And if you want a sample, which I highly recommend, $1.50. I think it'll be starting to pop up more places, but right now that's where it pops up. And then I think Pen Chalet too, but I was already kind of showing it from Goulet every day. So my first impressions are it's very nice. It's got excellent flow. It's got the shading, and it is unique among my ink samples. We're going to be looking at a lot of other blue panels too today to try to, you know, see where it comes in, and it's got its own little personality, I think. So I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't come close to a few, but it's really different. So here I'm going to get into the Cafe Note that with Nanami from Nanami Paper Company with Tomoe River paper, and I liked how it did in here, real good. This is my journal on my intermittent fasting and low carb, and had a upside down day yesterday, which resulted in a pretty serious cramp last night, which means I probably got dehydrated again, so I'm pushing fluids and salt and trying to get things back to normal today. I didn't mean to extend my fast so long yesterday, but we had company, so. But as you can, and you know, it wasn't convenient to say, oh, I have to eat, you know. I shouldn't be the only one, you know, because it was a really oddball time. Anyway, good grief. There's lots of shading on this Tomoe River paper, and I thought it looked really, really nice. You know, it's one of those, I love blues, and I'm glad I have so many beautiful blue samples, because my Serendipity pen will dip right in there, and I can use it up practically till the last couple drops. I can even use a syringe to drop the rest of the ink into the feed, so I get by quite good with the samples that I have. So, on the paper. Now, on here, I'm kind of excited, because as we look at these, just try to put your attention to the fact that these are the three blues, and you can see really clearly what a difference, how different they all are, especially on these papers, on the writing samples. So I just wanted to call your attention to that, because sometimes with that Rodya Gold book, you know, that ivory background kind of makes everything sort of meld together. But this, the Tomoe River paper, 52 gram, here we are with today's, and it's brighter than yesterday's, of course, but it has a significant different tone and shade from Clearwater Rain as well. So it's lighter, not quite as bright as that. And then, you know, it's just really unique, I think. I was surprised. I thought right away I was going to find 5 or 6 of the same basic ink, but I didn't. And then here, this is Leuchtturm. Same thing here. You can kind of compare the three last ones that we've had. They're all in that blue family, but they certainly are unique as far as I can tell. A lot of shading, quite a bit. I can see it almost on every letter, so that's nice. Since shading is one of my favorite things. And then Clairefontaine 90 gram. We also have them all three lined up at the bottom here, so it's nice to compare them. It might give you a little bit more information if you're trying to narrow down if you want one of these. You know, you might be able to see where it falls on that. Oh, I'm getting a little bit of a shade. I didn't want to give you any shade on that. You don't need that. You need to be able to see the actual ink on the white paper there. But I thought it looked good on there too. It is darker, I think, on the other papers by a little bit. Or let's put it this way. It just looks a little different on the white paper that is more water resistant there. Okay, and here comes Rodya Dot Pad. And again, we've got all three of them at the bottom there, giving us a good chance to see them together, being that they're all blue and all very unique, I thought. Pretty significant there. Okay, CVS caliber paper. Definitely lightened up on here, but we know that's going to happen a little bit. And there it is. And there they all three are, because that gives you the three of them to kind of compare. Sort of blunts that color a little bit more, I think. Okay, and then my last but not least, the good old Office Depot College Ruled Notebook, which is the cheaper paper of what I have, for those of you new tuning in. And there are the three blues with today's at the bottom here. That definitely, it looks bolder on here. Let's see. Let me grab the Rodya. It just does, because of the fact that it just holds more ink, I guess. It doesn't actually appear to me to be feathering, but it certainly shows more of the ink or something. It darkens and looks quite pretty on there. So, okay, I guess that's just a little bonus. Okay, well, that's funny. There's little smudges on the paper. I wonder what caused that. Oh my, that's an unusual event. But I don't see any more ink. So, oh dear. I didn't notice any dirt on there or anything when I started. Okay, let me pull down today's little panel, because what we're going to do is I've got, I don't know, maybe just so many blue panels. So I put on a couple that I didn't already have on other panels. This is one that'll be coming up later, a Birmingham sample that I have. And not because I thought it looked exactly like it. Of course it did kind of on the index, but that was another story. And then a friend that made her own mix, Annie's Blue Mix, really did kind of compare. In fact, I will be hard pressed to find one that looks quite as similar in the whole of my panels. So let's start getting them down, and we're going to keep this one. This is today's ink, Robert Oster Bass Straight, right in my right hand, and we'll do some, you know, comparisons here. It's really interesting. Okay, so here we have Diatramentus Adular Blue. That one kind of caught my eye. And a lot of these, like Aqua Lagoon, is very much lighter. Lighter, brighter, kind of different shade altogether. And of course, Blue Callan Q there, and Diamine Marine are totally out of the ballpark there. And, you know, I thought that it would compare better with Robert Oster Torquay. Oh, I think I might have said it right. And my index card is buried. Wait, here it is. Yeah, okay, I think I got that right. Yay, thank you, Wayne. I do like to be able to, when I can, say things the way. Torquay. Okay, so Torquay. Actually isn't hard to say. It just doesn't, in English, come naturally. But that was interesting. I thought these two were going to compare better, and they didn't. So, okay, and here's the yesterday's, right? No, the day before. Okay, 2 days ago we did Robert Oster Clearwater Rain there to the left. And although they're similar, there is quite a difference. And even more so with the naked eye. The human eye is amazing. So, okay, let's get another panel. Let's get one that doesn't do it quite so it's such a... Okay, so these are the brighter blues, and we have to go all the way over to the end to Konpeki to get anywhere close, and we're still not. There is a big difference, I think. Here's today's Bass Straight in my right hand. And then, of course, nowhere near on the Colorverse Crystal Planet. And not even on the Namiki, Pilot Namiki Blue. And over here, this is just, you know, way out of the zone. They're all really bright. But I wanted to show how there's a lot of blues here to compare it with, but there's not. In fact, I almost put it down here on this panel just because, but then I thought it wouldn't be mobile enough for us to compare things, so what the heck. Oh, there's another Kujaku. No, I haven't done that one yet, I guess. Okay, but that looks more greenish, kind of, when you get right down to it, than the Bass Straight. And there's Torquay again. See, some of these did come up more than once because they needed to be on another panel. And the same with Aqua Lagoon. Edelstein Topaz. Okay, that's not, you know, I just wasn't finding anything that was really compatible or similar enough to say, oh, it's just like that one. Let's see. Oh, here's another one. There'll probably be more. Okay, there's Soda Pop Blue, which, you know, that's another Robert Oster ink. But we're still talking about a different, a very unique color from that even. Crystal Planet. And you can see these are all mostly what I would classify as turquoise or bright blues. And some of them we've already done. Lamy Turquoise, so that's how it compares to that, in case you have that one. Navajo Turquoise up there in the middle there, right there. Konpeki. So I just, you know, you can imagine why I didn't want to put 9 more inks on some more of these, because really I already kind of had done this. And there's Soda Pop Blue, I think, for the second time. And yeah, some of these are starting to be repetitive. Fire and Ice. Okay, there's another one that I thought might have been very similar, but with my eye, I'm seeing a distinct difference. And when you put water, you definitely see that lighterness of the Bass Straight. All right, one more, and then we'll look at the artwork kind of thing. Okay, there was one that was sort of, I thought, okay, Noodler's Blue Bonnet. Not the same at all, but a ballpark, I would say. And of course, that's bulletproof practically. It's permanent. And then Noodler's Bad Blue Heron. Not a whole lot of similarity there, but a little bit. So it was fun to look at these, but I really needed this one to be mobile because I have so many blue panels. It's just almost silly. Okay, so let's leave this here and we will get... oops, I'm going to have a water slide here in a minute. Let's look at what happened when I did water first onto the art journal. Boy, my words are sticking in my head today. I've got too much going on, I guess. Okay, so I made that mistake again where there was too much water. I put with a thick paintbrush water down and then one little drop of ink, and it was too much water, so it didn't give me any of what I like, the little dramatic effects where it almost looks like treetops or some sort of a, you know, design emerging. But it did on the second one because I made sure that I didn't put too much water. In fact, it was so dry here and here that it didn't spread around, but still interesting to see. Let's go ahead and look at the other. We'll compare it to yesterday's, which gives us a real dramatic comparison because there's nothing quite like the Gray Seas one. Of all of the inks in this ink flight, these 7, this one had the most dramatic effect when combined with water or when added to water or when water's put on top of the ink. So I think that was really noteworthy how it did all of that with the pink and the turquoise or teal. So in comparison, this one looked a little bit boring, but it was still interesting. Let's see if we can find the other blue. It shouldn't be, yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. And then this one had quite a drastic way that it reacted too. And if you remember, I actually felt like the Clearwater Rain was more fluid, even more fluid if there's, you know, if that's possible. So that may be why that was stunning too. I mean, it didn't do the color variety like Gray Seas, but it certainly went wild in terms of making all these interesting blobs and marks and stuff. So okay, there we have it. with Robert Oster Bass Straight. It was a fun one. And we're just one ink away from having this ink flight all videoed. You know, we've got one more, Honeybee. And I do have some inks that compare with this. I was just looking at some of my panels. So for the next video, that's what it'll be. And here we are already on Friday. It's gone fast. So there's Honeybee. That'll be next. Thank you very much for being here and for commenting and being in the conversation about these inks. It's really been fun. And I think that this is a kind of a good, at least structure or format for the ink flight. So we could see them all together. We can kind of see what came and then we can go through each one. So that'll be coming up again for November, but there's no rush because there's plenty of other ink samples to look at. So I will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching, for liking and commenting and subscribing. It means a lot to me to have pen friends here, and I just appreciate you. Bye for now.